This is CTV News with Nafisa Karim.
Frustrated and desperately seeking answers.
Tonight, cold case closure. A mother on the South Island makes a public plea to police 18 years after her daughter's murder. Also tonight.
This is a critical industry to the fabric of the whole country.
Tariff task force. The province pushes for forestry support from the federal government as the U.S. tops up its tariffs on softwood lumber. Plus, Adam finds out how a woman worried about the state of the world found a creative way to spread smiles. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. There is a new ripple in an old homicide case on Vancouver Island. Lindsay Buziak's mother has taken to YouTube with an emotional plea for evidence in her daughter's 2008 stabbing death. As CTV's Anna McMillan shows us, Saanich police say the case isn't closed while a mother takes matters into her own hands.
Nearly 18 years after Lindsay Buziak's death, many might consider the killing a case gone cold. Today, Saanich police say it's still active, though Buziak's mother worries it's not.
I'm frustrated and desperately seeking answers.
Buziak was a realtor and was stabbed to death in 2008 while showing a home. No charges have ever been laid, and her mother says she recently received an update from the Saanich Police Department.
The detectives assigned to the investigation were being transferred to other departments. It was a decision based on resources.
SPD says in prolonged investigations, it's standard practice for investigators to be reassigned periodically. The department says its commitment to seeking justice for Lindsay remains steadfast.
Investigators are reviewing and retesting evidence.
In 2021, the department announced it was getting help from the FBI and was hoping advancements in DNA analysis could create new leads.
You reach a point where there's nothing left. There's no one left to talk to. There's nothing left to test forensically. And it's a frustrating, horrible position for homicide investigators and for the family of this young woman.
That former homicide detective says cold cases are never closed, but they can be parked.
One of the benefits of putting out this information today is it may trigger somebody to come forward.
That's exactly what Buziak's mother is hoping for.
Police have told me that there are people who could provide the evidence necessary to convict those responsible, but they are afraid or reluctant to become involved. I'm directing my plea at you.
Saanich Police is also asking people to come forward and says its investigators follow up on all credible tips. Anna McMillan, CTV News.
A Victoria City councillor wants her colleagues to green-light a request for Island Health to close a supervised consumption site. The harbour opened on Pandora Avenue in 2018 and has seen more than 350,000 visits since its inception. Councillor Mark Gardner says council learned from Island Health in June the people seeking the service are regular clientele, not most people encamped on the street. She wants the mayor to formally ask Island Health to cease operations and seize this site as a first step.
The people who are on our streets need support. They need help. The people who live in their neighborhoods nearby, they need help. Our businesses need help. Who doesn't need help is the illicit drug industry. And the most bothersome thing for me with this consumption site and many others is that it actually uses illicit drugs or allows people to use illicit drugs on the premises. And I don't think any level of government should be supporting, even indirectly, the illicit drug industry.
Gardner's pitch will be debated at a committee meeting Thursday after being postponed earlier this summer. New data from the BC Coroner's Service shows 158 people died from toxic drug overdoses in September, which is more than 5 people per day. Island Health says overdose prevention services are evidence-based and reduce adverse outcomes and deaths for people who use substances. It's been ordered to provide the service by Health Canada since 2016 where needed. It has been called the silent killer, and now homeowners in BC are being urged to test their homes for radon gas. The colorless, odorless radioactive gas is the second highest cause of lung cancer in Canada, estimated to cause more than 3,000 deaths in the country a year. A joint campaign from the BC Real Estate Association and BC Lung Foundation aims to direct British Columbians to radon.ca/BC. That's where they can find crucial information about how to test for it in their homes. Provincial and federal politicians have agreed to table a task force to help prop up the softwood lumber industry. It comes in the face of American fees and tariffs topping 50%. The province is pushing for more federal support at a forestry summit happening in Vancouver. The Premier says the softwood sector is one of the largest employers and contributors to our provincial GDP. David Eby says he's confident the federal government understands that and shot back at critics who blame part of the strain on what they call mismanagement and bad provincial policy around permits.
Campbell River, for example, 3 million cubic meters of timber that's permitted, ready to go, but in the current economic situation with the United States, it doesn't make sense to harvest. So these are big challenges. We know also that we have to be faster on permitting, and we're doing that work as well.
This is a critical industry to the fabric of the whole country. We see British Columbia, of course, as a dominant player in Canada in this industry. That's why we thought it was important for us to hear directly from the Premier, from his government, and from representatives of the workers in the industry.
The political leaders say the task force is anticipated to work over weeks, not months, on the new measures. After saying BC was planning to push ahead with anti-tariff advertisements, Premier Eby now says any ads that go out will be done in consultation with the federal government. Some sad news from the most well-known southern resident killer whale pod is their newborn calf is now believed to be dead. The update comes from the Centre for Whale Research, which spotted J-pod off the coast of North Pender Island in late October. After following the pod for an extended period of the time, the team noticed that J42's new calf, J64, was nowhere to be seen. Based on the encounter, the Centre for Whale Research later confirmed that J64 is most likely dead. They add that mortality rates for young calves, especially those born to first-time mothers, are incredibly high in the southern resident population. The massive tires that washed ashore along a Campbell River beach are now gone. Thanks to a quick response for help, the community came together to make it happen. CTV's Andy Garland has the story.
Dead weight.
Trevor Agar thought these tires would become a fixture outside his beachfront home for quite some time when they washed ashore a couple weeks ago.
Because they're dead weight. They're dug in now, so they're going nowhere.
But early this afternoon, the tires that weigh thousands of kilograms are coming off the beach.
This is happening so quickly, it's phenomenal.
Our story last week about the tires, which are filled with pea foam that breaks down and is an environmental hazard, got the attention of several Campbell River businesses that said they can help.
Local big tug company called me and said, hey, we can do this and we'll get a big tug. And he said it's got enough power, it'll yank these off the beach.
And they were right. A tug with Coast Island Marine strapped a cable around the mammoth tires and pulled them back into the ocean.
They were worried about the tow strap, but rolled off pretty nicely, is gone, and it's out there floating. It's great.
The tires are going to be headed up to Middle Point, just by Menzies Bay. And then we will get them unloaded there.
They'll eventually make their way to the Cumberland landfill. Everyone involved is donating their time to make this seemingly impossible mission possible.
We're just super excited about how the community has come together and really offered their support in a lot of different ways.
The tires most likely came from an industrial dock along the coast. And the Campbell River Salmon Foundation's concern is that this will become a common occurrence.
It's going to hit our beaches. It just will happen. So maybe a bit more of an organized response would be good.
Try swinging back and forth on it here.
But for this time around, the community rallied together to mitigate the damage. Andy Garland, CTV News, Campbell River.
The football team at Langford's Belmont Secondary School received a boost to its finances this weekend after one of their players was featured on TSN. This thrilling interception and touchdown by Belmont defensive back Isaac Bemera has landed the school more than just a few points on the scoreboard after being named the Way to Play Winner of the Week by NFL Canada for his display of proper playing technique. Belmont High will now receive a $3,000 equipment grant for its flourishing football team. Way to go, Isaac. Still to come, bringing back baseball.
I'm here just getting work in, trying to get to another level.
How the Toronto Blue Jays' success is inspiring young athletes across the country. Plus, a look at the dangers of driving with reduced daylight.
11 degrees for a daytime high in Victoria today. We're currently sitting at 9 degrees with mostly cloudy skies out there. Should be a pleasant day tomorrow, but there are a couple storm systems set to hit the island this week. Those details right after the break.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Make the most of your next trip by booking with those who've been there. Visit expediacruises.ca.
Hey, West Shore youth, looking for a fun spot to hang out? Youth nights are here. Skating, art, swims, and a place to chill. Staff-led and supervised for a safe, inclusive vibe. Check out wspr.ca for more info.
Well, Josh, this is the calm not just before the storm, but the storms.
Yeah, it looks like there are two storm systems that'll go through primarily Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and then again on Thursday, the next system. Both are going to pack some fairly strong wind gusts, as well as some rather significant amounts of rain for parts of the island. Again, Victoria is probably going to end up on the lower end of the scale as far as rainfall is concerned. It's 10 degrees right now after hitting 11 for a daytime high, currently 11 in Tofino. If we pull out here, not bad right now. We've had some cloud cover on the northern edge of this system for much of the day in Victoria, but sunshine elsewhere. There's your storm systems building out in the Pacific, and so tomorrow, not bad. Sunshine for the first half of the day. Late in the day, this is about 6 p.m., start to see a little bit of increase in cloud cover. Then by Tuesday evening, you get a few showers moving through. Heaviest of the rain there in the yellows and oranges comes through overnight and early in the day Wednesday. Kind of tapers off for most areas to showers for Wednesday afternoon, and then the next system slaps its way through on Thursday. It'll be a little more organized right through the day in the north, though. So as opposed to getting a break Wednesday afternoon, I think the rain's going to be in the area for most of the day. More rain, as you can see, Thursday and into early Friday. Temperatures around 11 degrees for the next couple of days, and enjoy tomorrow. Partly cloudy skies and light wind tomorrow, and then it gets gusty and wet for Wednesday, Thursday. 10 degrees for inland sections, and sunshine tomorrow morning, giving way to some late day cloud. Rain in the forecast for Wednesday, Thursday. I think there could be 60 to 100 millimeters of rain for some areas inland. So we'll see where exactly we get the heaviest of the rainfall Wednesday, Thursday, but it does look like potentially even some rainfall warnings for parts of the island before the week is out. Out on the west coast, increasing cloud, high of 12 tomorrow. Heavy rain for Wednesday and Thursday, and gusts Wednesday could be up around 70 or 80 kilometers per hour. Comox, chance of some showers starting tomorrow evening. Then Wednesday, most of the rain will be early in the day. It'll break down to a chance of scattered showers in the afternoon. Rain returns for Thursday, but it does look drier as we hit the weekend. Just a little cooler. We'll be in the 10 to 12 degree range for the next few days, and then around 8 or 9 for highs Saturday, Sunday. Nanaimo, same pattern for temperatures, 11s and 12s the next few days, and then single digits for Saturday, Sunday. Between now and the weekend, though, you get a bunch of rain, especially early in the day Wednesday. Late in the day Wednesday, it'll be scattered showers and then steadier rain in the forecast for Thursday. Tomorrow, though, just a mix of sun and cloud and high of 11. That's the case in Victoria as well. Sunshine in the morning, clouds increasing in the afternoon. 11 degrees in the afternoon, and then some rain tomorrow evening. Showers in the forecast for Wednesday, Thursday. A little gusty as well for both those days. And then temperatures back into the 9 or 10 degree range by the coming weekend. CTV Weather is brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. So nice little break tomorrow, and then batten the hatches, wet and windy for a couple of days.
All right, consider them battened. Thanks, Josh. Well, as the hours of daylight shorten and that wet weather returns, police and ICBC are reminding drivers and pedestrians to be extra cautious on the roads. The annual push comes as visibility drops and crashes involving pedestrians typically rise at this time of year. CTV's Reagan Hasegawa has more.
The clocks have officially rolled back, and across Metro Vancouver, darker commutes and rainy conditions are making it harder for drivers to see people crossing the street, and most pedestrian crashes happening at intersections or busy transit hubs.
This is the darkest, wettest times of the year, and most of the crashes involving pedestrians occur between October and January.
ICBC says distracted driving and failing to yield are key factors in pedestrian crashes. It adds that speed limits are set for ideal conditions, so when it's dark or raining, drivers should slow down and scan intersections carefully. Pedestrians are also encouraged to make eye contact with drivers and wear reflectors to be seen. ICBC is hounding out thousands of these reflective zipper poles at its service centers and community policing hubs for a limited time to increase pedestrian visibility. Sleep experts say even minor changes to our internal clocks can affect alertness on the road. The time shift can temporarily throw off the body's biological rhythm, making some drivers less focused in the days that follow.
You could argue and say that if you're not used to driving at a certain time, and then you have your clock going forward or going backwards, that can do it as well. In addition, perhaps driving home from work as well, you might be a little bit less alert.
BC passed legislation to make daylight savings time permanent years ago, but that won't go forward until neighboring U.S. states do the same so our province can stay in sync. Reagan Hasegawa, CTV News, Vancouver.
It wasn't the storybook ending millions of Canadians were hoping for, with the Blue Jays suffering that heartbreaking loss at the World Series. But their incredible playoff run has inspired the next generation of young ball players. And come spring, it's expected a wave of new enthusiasts will be taking up the sport. Here's CTV's John Venavalle-Rao.
While much of the country was caught up in Blue Jays fever for the last month, for those wanting to make it to the big leagues, the playoff run, regardless of outcome, was hugely inspiring.
It gives me extra motivation to come in here.
This Blue Jays team is really motivating. I'm here just getting work in, trying to get to another level.
Every kid at this training facility in Burlington, Ontario, has dreams of playing at least college-level baseball in the U.S., and many swinging for the majors, including 11-year-old Mateo, who last week told us he wants to play for the Blue Jays so much, he'd sign with them, even if it meant a pay cut.
If I was getting more money somewhere else, I would still want to go to the Jays. I want to play in the Rogers Center.
And facilities like this now anticipating a surge in interest, with the Blue Jays' World Series appearance getting more young people excited to play the game.
It grows it. It grows baseball. It makes it where it's real, it's an achievable dream.
Now, according to Baseball Canada, across the country last year, nearly 250,000 Canadians registered to play the sport. After the incredible World Series wins in '92 and '93, more kids started playing baseball. It was the same after the playoff runs in 2015 and 2016. And now another bump is expected in the spring.
It's exciting. I mean, it creates some capacity challenges for us to be able to handle, all the people that want to start to play baseball, but that's a good problem for us to have.
Baseball Canada notes the girls' side of the game has also seen significant growth in recent years, and that too could see a boost. And it's hoped, thanks to the interest generated by the Jays, there may be more Canadian stars on the field in the years to come. John Venavalle-Rao, CTV News, Burlington, Ontario.
Coming up, painting smiles. Adam meets a woman who's found a creative way to turn her worries about the world upside down. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Finally, Adam finds out how a young woman worried about the world found a creative way to spread smiles on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Beverly Jean Hancock was feeling overwhelmed about the general state of the world.
I think that I was shocked and depressed.
When she made a specific realization.
That there was days where I hardly smiled, I hardly laughed.
So, Beverly Jean decided to do something about it.
I thought about what made me smile, and I started smiling more.
Which made her wonder what made other people smile. So, the professional painter began handing out cards to strangers, inviting them to send her joyful pictures to inspire her next art exhibit.
And I was quite surprised at how eager people were to tell me what made them smile.
And Beverly Jean painted more than 50 of them, which included the ultra-specific doing goat yoga, savoring that first lick of ice cream, and learning to juggle while riding a unicycle and playing the harmonica at the same time.
When I looked at the photos, I would just light up.
Most of the pictures Beverly Jean was sent were more universal, showing smiling with friends, dancing with partners, or just walking hand in hand.
Small sentiments of love and affection and joy.
Well, a bubble machine's been set up outside the Gage Gallery to inspire smiles before people even enter her exhibit. Beverly Jean is committed to keep cultivating joy, even after the last bubble pops.
I believe that we can connect deeply in a place of joy.
So, instead of spending too much time small-talking about what's going wrong with the world, she now asks others what's going right in their lives.
Like, when's the last time your grandchild said something funny?
Beverly Jean also tries to learn and share at least one joke a day.
So what did one strawberry say to the other strawberry?
What?
It's your fault we're in this jam.
Beverly Jean has also learned that whether it's watching the way a bird walks or appreciating how a musician multitasks, that even when the rain is falling down, if you start looking up, you will always find something to make you smile. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.